everybody out there in the Quest world. It's 6:55 in the Quest world here. Hope everybody's doing fine down here in the USA or up here, wherever you guys are. I'm getting pretty bad wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. I hope we're still good. If not, we'll just get back on if we get disconnected. The show must go on. And from way up north, and her name is Judy. Hello, Judy.
Hello, John. Hi, everybody. Good to be here, as always. And it's a little windy here, too, but it's worse at John's, I think.
It's coming up your way. There's Sandollar, Becky, Caroline, Jeff M, Professor. There we are. Let me see. Sydney's our optical manager. I call her the optical manager because she always tells us, I can see you, I can hear you. Otherwise, what's the sense of doing it, right, Judy?
Right on, John. Good for her. Yeah, she's always there for us.
Yep. Hi, Diane. We'll wait till people start popping in. You know me, I got to do my thank yous, the same thing over and over and over and over. But that's my deal. I respect each and every one of you. If I had 7 shows in a row, I would do the same thank yous every time on my intro, as always, Judy.
I know, John. We're darn thankful for everybody out there. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Yep. Hello, Troy. But
hi, Sandollar. I'm on YouTube right now, John, because I couldn't pick you up on Facebook.
Facebook is crazy.
It's crazy.
They change things, and then when they change things, I can't get on. I don't know. They keep on changing things, inserting different, I don't know, apps or whatever they're called, and why don't they just leave things alone, you know?
Right. I agree with you 100% on that. You get used to one thing, and then you got to try and figure out something new.
Yep. Dee Dee, the drawers in the house, the artist, Joanne, Gustavo, Eric, Ray, R. We're all coming in. We had a little info that Daniel messaged me. Let me put that out there before I forget. From the professor, hot off the press, like a minute ago. He has some breaking news that he posted to the Facebook Quest group that the Rochefiel's captured document was said to be January 1746. It was actually September 1746. The show/researcher, Paul, mistranslated it. A group member alerted me to it. So that's a little bit of info on a correction. And they said it was January 1746 on the captured document. It was actually September 1746. I thank you to the member who corrected that and found that. We're a big group. We all work together. Whatever we can see, we'll discuss. And that's the part of the group I love, that we work as one big unit, Judy.
For sure, John. Isn't it nice that we have others out there that know things that we don't, and then we can just put it all together?
Yep, there's Sydney. I always wanted to be an optical manager. You got it. It pays great, just like we get paid. Fantastic money.
Yeah, lots of money.
Yeah, put you in a different tax bracket, Sydney. Hello, Hook and Ashley. But, of course, we have Judy's fine factual synopsis of last night. But you know what, guys? Let me do the thank yous. And Johnny was thinking after the podcast, maybe it was a dream, but you know I always tell you the way it is, you know, Judy?
Right, you do that.
All right, let's thank our YouTube supporters, the Knights, the Captains, the Marshals, and the Masons. Obviously, when I have merchandise, if you belong to this group, the YouTube paid membership, you get a percentage off the merchandise. So that's a good deal. The higher the level, the more the percentage. I also want to thank I Dead Pirate for rejoining yesterday. Thank you so much, Pirate. I also want to thank Dina, Caroline, Noah, Virginia, Barbara, the other Barbara S., Nightwing, Starling, Luke, Jeff M., Curtis, Jana, Kathy, Becky, Josh, Mark, Sandollar, Ray, Roxy, Jazz, Dia, and Wayne for their continued support, and all the Knights that help out. They're $2.99 a month. At least it's something. I appreciate every penny we can get for things that go wrong. And a lot of these prescriptions that I have, they're called that I have to pay on a yearly basis. Their license to get their software, and they're only good for 1 year. I want to thank Judy. She's on the live. Thank you so much, Judy, for what you do and join me on these podcasts.
I love doing it, John. I said to somebody the other day, I'd do it every night if I could.
No, I don't think so.
Not the synopsis. I wouldn't do that every night, but I would do this.
Yeah. I want to thank Daniel, our factual historian, Spino. Without him, to bring us to the straight and narrow road of what the heck we're doing here. He's the driver of this big bus we call Quest of Oak Island. Judy and Daniel, I thank you for your support.
Thank you, Daniel.
Hello, Gloria. Hello, Judy. And also, another big thank you that I got to put out there is to the Osprey Muyan. We thank you so much for your Muyan videos. It was just fantastic. Now that they're showing us what they're doing, we have a background of what they did, but we're up to the editor's content. So at least we know now how they got up to the point that we just saw, like the yellow hatch. So I like that. I thought it made it more interesting knowing that beforehand, before we saw it. I don't know, made me more excited, Judy.
Yeah, it did me too, John. It was interesting to know what was coming.
You know, and now we get the details of how they did it.
Right.
All right.
Exactly. And they're good details too. It's interesting.
Yep. And I want to thank my moderators. They work on this group and the Templar Quest group. Tammy, Judy, Daniel, Starlene, Michelle, Kathy, BC, and Tanya from Portugal, and to our lifetime contributor, Chris Dona. Pretty soon we'll have our number scrolling in the bottom. I want you guys to call in live. It's 1-323-813-4135. I want to thank all my Facebook group, the Quest of Oak Island, where my main members come from. Please subscribe if you can to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. That's how they rate us. Also to the Twitter channel and the Rumble channel, thank you so much. And to our Anchor audio podcast, Judy, even people that have been listening to our audio podcast have been coming over and joining our group, which I think is fantastic.
Well, that's great to hear. Now they can see as well as hear.
Yeah, and I also told them, well, if they're never joining a group before, and obviously we look at all profiles, and if you just have no profile, no friends, you're just starting, just message one of the mods or me, or email to the Quest of Oak Island at AOL.com about your background. You know, listen, I listened for you and Judy for 1.5 years on Spotify. Well, we don't know that. So if we see a profile with no names, no pictures, no friends, that's a warning sign. And those are just deleted. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly, John. Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, somehow. But I wanted to put that out there. I mean, newbies just joining can't hear this because they're not on the channel. But I'm just saying, somehow to get the word out that as long as we have a little background of where you're coming from, because we got to watch out for all the hackers and all the stuff that's nasty out there.
Right, we've had some of that. We got to be careful.
Yep. Hello, Darlene. You up, Ray Ray? You must have got it from my YouTube channel because that's exclusive content showing the concrete pad, only shown on my channel only. And Daniel. My name is Daniel. I like football and pizza. You're approved.
Oh, shoot.
You're approved. And I like beer. You're approved, automatic. Dee Dee, thank you so much. The artist, Dee Dee, if you go back and look, check her YouTube channel out. Fantastic artist with scrapbooking and just pictures, and she drew me. It's in my Facebook group on Quest. Thank you so much, Dee Dee. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
Fantastic how she draws those things, Judy. If you ever go see her, once in a while I stop in, if I'm not too busy and, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever, I'm all groggy. I try to stop in and say hello to her. I wish everybody else would.
Yep, right. Beautiful drawer, artist all the way around. And I wish I could draw like that.
Yep, a lot of craft ideas, and she has members that are all crafters and stuff. I can't do anything, but they make things look so beautiful. Thank you, Dee Dee. Now, last night's podcast and show was bubbling over. Obviously, the bubble's coming up through the garden shaft. And next week, next Tuesday, December 6th, you're welcome, Dee Dee. It's called Wharf in Pieces. Air date, December 6th at 9 p.m. USA time. I know you guys in Canada don't get it to this Sunday at 9, Judy, but for the people that don't have VPNs, I'm just a spoiler show all season. I just go bananas on all the information I have. I just blurt it all out,
Well, John, I think that most of the Canadians know that by now and are okay with it.
Sounds good, Tim. All right, I'm going to put this out there, Judy, before you start your synopsis. I gave them 3 episodes. And I'm looking at the format of these 3 episodes. Hello, Scott. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right. Yes.
So mostly they give us a lot of hype and a lot of stuff in the beginning that we're searching for, that we're going for, that goals that we're doing. That's been their format for the past 6 years that I've been on here. So I don't know if this was a dream or what, guys. So help me out and see if I'm going on the right direction or Johnny's just losing his mind after 10 seasons of Curse of Oak Island and we haven't found anything of substantial of value. Okay, guys?
Well, listen, John.
All right. The end of last season, which was fantastic, was with Corey and Maul and the guys going to Portugal, matching things from the Templar things in Portugal to possibly the Templar things in Oak Island, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now the season ends. Hello, Curtis. Now the season ends on that note. Now the production team has a big meeting of what they're going to present in season 10. Season 9, we came up empty on, 5 caissons, 10 foot wide?
Yes, it was.
So there wasn't much except for the historical value I know and the fellowship I know. So this is where my brain goes really crazy. So here you are on a show that's worth multiple high millions of dollars, not only in the production and very valuable on the advertising site, and also being in the top 3 or not the top cable show on Tuesday nights. So here you are sitting around the table, Marty, Rick, Greg Tester, and all the money people saying, what are we going to show in season 10 because, holy Muyan, we're not going to have anything substantial until maybe towards the end of season 10. Are you guys following me so far?
Yes, yes.
So what wouldn't be the greatest thing to do to take up time to make content? Would it be to hollow out again 10x? No, too deep, 235 feet. Yet the gold signatures were not even close to 10x. I think production had this idea to rebuild the garden shaft for production reasons. Now think about it now. Think about what I said. If you got all this money invested, and if that garden shaft was so positive, with that long reach excavator, remember how they dug the uplands out, Judy?
Yes.
And Rick went down the bucket?
Oh, yes. Haven't forgot it.
Why not just dig the garden shaft right out? Move the stones, dig it out. Let's go see if there's a side tunnel. Why would they rebuild and go through sections by sections and get in a mining company to rebuild a garden shaft? Why not rebuild the other shafts? They go a lot deeper than 77 feet, but only because there's like a gold signature going towards the garden shaft. So you see what I'm saying?
Right, yes.
Does that make sense to you guys? Otherwise, what content would they have this year except for Gary's surface finds? We can't go back to the Smith's Cove. The money pit is just where the money pit is. We're in the garden shaft.
Boy, John, I don't have an answer to that at all. I had not thought about it in that way.
So, I'm thinking after the Portugal was over, what kind of content do we have for weeks of production? Well, let's rebuild the garden shaft. I could be completely wrong, but if they didn't rebuild the garden shaft, we didn't even see them. They did rebuild the Restall cabin, and they were supposed to put it out on the beach where it was. I mean, the beach near Smith's Cove. They haven't even done that yet.
Right. Scott says 50 days was the estimate to rebuild the shaft. I believe they said good filler, maybe.
But you know what I mean, guys? If that signature, okay, I'm invested in millions, Judy and gang. Am I going to wait 50 days to rebuild and restructure a 77-foot deep pit? I'm pretty sure the money pit is not off limits. The money pit is such a mess. Maybe they have to get a permit to go maybe lower than 100 feet or something. But wouldn't you just bring the long arm excavator there and just dig the thing out?
Tim says, but there is an offset shaft from that tunnel, they believe. Could that be what they're looking for, John?
Right, because we don't have any Muyan detectable hot points when they started this season. Not now, but when they started the season. And why was Billy digging out the garden shaft in March? Because they already made a determination that they're going to rebuild that shaft. Otherwise, why would he be digging out? Why was the backhoe in the garden shaft in March to clean it out? Because they made a decision in March to rebuild the shaft. For what reason? For content, for production. There was a gold signature there. I mean, why didn't they redo 10X then? What's that? Next year, redo 10X? Because what content did they have but just theorists coming on and doing their theories all year and Gary's surface finds? And now we got theorists and historians looking for material, if any, in the archives all around the world. But as far as physically doing something on the sausage table, that's what people want to see. They don't want to see a lot of paperwork. They don't want to see maps. They want to see drilling. They want to see digging. They want to see shiny stuff.
Yeah, you're right, John. Although I have to admit, what they're doing is interesting. But I don't know. I don't know. But you're giving me something to think about.
But you know what I'm saying, Judy? It's like, okay.
Yes.
You know,
yeah, I do understand because they need filling for sure.
Yeah, and the expense of rebuilding a whole shaft than just digging it out the hole, there's no comparison. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, if they were to just dig it out, then they wouldn't be able to keep the water back, would they?
Oh, they got pumps that they can do. They can have some of that shotcrete on the sides. They can do a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Okay. All righty. Well, it'd be nice if one of the fellowship would just call and tell us that.
I know. But that's what went through my mind. And then again, the LiDAR detection again. I mean, they already did it 3 times, but I'm just saying, like I said on my post show yesterday, the technology maybe will show metals now. I have no idea. We already had a hot spot on that lot from last year's scanning. Remember, there was a hot spot on lot 5, I think, towards the bay. Remember?
Yes, I do remember.
So I'm going, what about that hot spot? What happened to that? So that's what was going through my mind, that why not just go after it? Why are you rebuilding the whole shaft down to 77 feet? It just doesn't make any sense to me right now.
Well, and I guess the only thing is we can just go along and find out, can't we?
Because think about it, Judy. If they didn't do this shaft, what would we be watching?
Yes, you're very right on that.
Take the garden shaft
the
right.
muon, like, as Daniel said, it's a buffer period before muon targets.
Right, but we went through this before. You know, why are they fishing again? That's why we went to the muon, because of 9 years of fishing holes, thousands of them, and caissons and shafts, and coming up empty. So we went, I thought, hey, that's it. So that's all my own personal opinion about how my brain worked when I was trying to sleep last night.
Oh, you maybe were dreaming.
Yeah, maybe I was dreaming, sure. I know. But it's just all thinking wise, you know, because maybe I want to see some kind of a treasure, or if something was there or not so bad for these guys, because last year I think was a complete, okay, they say about the history and the dates, but I think as far as excitement, I think they lost it on that one last year. I mean, the viewers are still there, so the viewers make the show or not, just like the members make our show. But I don't know. I called it, I'm on the merry-go-round again, or what did I call it? The wheel, the Ferris wheel.
Right. Yes. it's yeah, and we all are. You know, we just don't know what's going to come for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
and
but,
so I guess we stick with it.
Yeah, but we don't want to see the same thing over and over and over and over and not coming up with anything.
Right. You're right.
Work of what we have. You know, work on the tons and overload of information that we have and check things off. Will you please?
That would be good. Darn good. Oh, Daniel says, John, just count acorns before bed.
Yep, and Terry, there's so many open issues that I'm getting lost. You know, it's like, okay, if it's not there, check it off. But they keep on going back to the same old thing. And I mean, I'm in it to the end. Judy knows this. My members know this. I'm in right into it. Even if at the end of the season they says, you know what, that's all we found was that other boot. And that's it.
Well, at least they've given us something, John, so we have something to watch and we can be together.
Yep.
I'll give them that.
Yep. So that's what was just going through my head last night. Maybe they just did it for the production end. Don't forget, it's two pieces of this puzzle here. You got the TV end, and you got the actual treasure end. We're mostly on the treasure end, but don't forget, it's a TV show also that attracts many, many advertising dollars and members. So maybe that's what's in my head bothering me. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it is beyond us the amount of money that is spent, but hopefully in the end it'll pay off.
And Terry says, I believe that the show needs more results faster. They got a whole scanning department in the tourist pole barn. They got the scanners, they got everything, testing minerals and testing 3Ds. That's right there. They don't have to drive anywhere. They don't have to mail it anywhere or courier it to get a date. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right, exactly. And by the way, Tammy Williams is with us. So hi, Tammy. Welcome, hon.
Hello, Tammy. Ashley. Behave, Ashley.
Hey, guys, Ashley says when she gets frustrated and confused, she just stares at Alex for a while. That usually works.
I stare at Carmen. That makes me weird, huh? We don't shame in this group. Whoever and however you want to stare at somebody, go for it. You know what I mean, Judy?
Right on. I stare at Rick myself, but each to their own.
All righty, Judy. Let me get your picture up here, because I went on a little tirade. Maybe it's because I got my cable bill today. My internet went up to, I think it's $89.99 a month just for internet, just to watch Oak Island and just to use this internet is $89.99 a month.
Oh, that's awful.
It's just
it's too bad.
No control.
No, nothing you can do. If you want it, you got to pay.
No, it's not even TV. I got the old-fashioned antenna to get the local channels outside, you know.
Gee whiz. Oh, John.
Take care, Ray.
Well, it's expensive here, too, in Canada.
All right. We got to get Judy up here. All righty. I got Judy's picture up here, the synopsis. Judy, when you're ready to go, you're all set. Thank you, Judy.
Okay. So we are season 10, episode 3, Bubbling Over. It's a new day on Oak Island, and in the Money Pit area, the team is drilling a new borehole labeled A5N 13.5 in hopes of intercepting the 35-foot tunnel found 2 weeks ago. The tunnel runs to the garden shaft where they have found gold in the water. Is this an original tunnel? And if so, what is the garden shaft? Could it lead to the vault? At the research center, Rick and Billy are meeting with Peter, a gemologist, who is looking at the piece of jewelry found last week on Lot 7, where the garnet brooch was also found. Peter says it is a ferrous metal, and the hinge on one side tells him it had a cover. He adds that it is some kind of a pin, and the center is glass, like that used in Roman times. Peter has never seen a setting like this before, so finds it very unique. He points out that it is definitely not from the USA and dates it from the 1700s or earlier. Is it related to the garnet brooch? And could there be more valuable artifacts in the Lot 7 area? Gary will find out for sure. Later that afternoon, in the Money Pit area, Rick, Craig, and Marty arrive just as a core hits the table from 55 feet down. Borehole A5N 13.5. The drilling team informs them that they have just hit a large void that is above the bedrock, and they think 10 feet of open space. They will take a water sample for Ian. Marty wonders if this could be an offset chamber because it is in dry ground, and does it connect to the garden shaft? Later, Gary and Jack are metal detecting on lot 8. The beeper goes off, and Jack digs up 2 small pieces of what looks like pieces of metal used to hold a scroll together. Jack finds the inside feels like parchment. One is about 2 inches in length, and the other is 1. As Gary begs them to be put in the CT scanner, they wonder if these artifacts are related to the other 16th century ones found in this area. The beeper goes off again, and this time Jack digs up a piece of metal that Gary says looks like metal used to make bells and cannons. Similar metal was found on lot 4 last year. As they wonder if this metal is Portuguese related, they beg it for testing. The following day, Jack meets Robert and Keith, LiDAR scanning experts on lot 32. They send up their LiDAR drone to check the area for any sign of roads that might lead to the money pit area. They scan lots 31 and 32 and will process the data and return the results to the team. Back at the money pit, the team continues to drill borehole A5N 13.5, hoping to hit the tunnel that is down 108 feet. A core hits the table, and Terry finds loose dirt, which means this area has been disturbed in the past. He was disappointed to find no wood. Paul then calls them over to the garden shaft, where there is bubbles rising to the surface of the water in the shaft. Surprised, the team sees a steady stream of bubbles and concludes that the drilling of A5N 13.5 is causing air to go through the tunnel to the garden shaft. Rick believes this proves the tunnel and shaft are connected. They will take a water sample and keep drilling. Later, Gary and Charles meet metal specialist Sandy in the research center to examine the metal piece found 2 weeks ago on lot 7. At that time, Gary thought it could be a coin. However, Sandy thinks as its edges are formed and it is metal with arsenic and weighs 4 grams, it is probably a barter piece used by merchants in the past. Sandy says it is at least 500 years old, and Charles suggests it could be Portuguese Templar. More research is needed. Later, at the research center, the team meets regarding what to do next in the money pit area. Doug informs them he has been in touch with Dumas, a Canadian mining company from Timmins, Ontario. They say they can rebuild the garden shaft, making it possible for the team to go underground in the shaft. The following morning, the team is excited to meet in the war room with Dumas via video. Dumas assures the team they will reline the shaft and grout it to prevent water from flowing in, and this will make it possible for them to find any tunnels coming into the shaft or any offset chambers. They will go down 77 feet to where the shaft ends and it should take 50 days to complete the job. Rick says this may lead us to the vault and will give us a better understanding of the money pit. The show ends with Marty telling the Dunas company to come make a shaft. Could this be the beginning of the end of the Oak Island mystery? Have a good week, Quest family, and stay safe, please.
Excellent, Judy. Excellent, excellent. Plus, plus, plus. Very good.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course, it'll be posted to the YouTube Community Center for only our members and be posted in our Facebook group for them to read it at their leisure, whoever comes in later. Thank you so much, Judy.
Oh, you're welcome, John.
Yep, I saw somebody posted their cable bill.
Yeah, it was Tammy.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
but don't forget, my $90 is just for internet. No cable TV. It's for internet only. Just internet and Wi-Fi. That's it, period. No cable TV at all.
Wow. Oh, that's awful.
Okay, Leon, from Trinidad. Good night. Thanks for stopping in, Leon.
Really? Wow. Bet it's warm there.
All right, Judy, let me get you off here. Then we'll go into some screenshots, guys, and discuss. Yeah, I think so, Tammy, but we got no choice here. I need the high speed, but it's all 300 megs over here. If you want it or not, it's 300. Otherwise, how would I do YouTube? You know, how would I do Facebook? All the pictures and... But everybody has the same speed. I was just venting.
We understand. We do, John.
All right, this is on Steve's plot. And that's what Judy was saying, A.5N-13.5. A smoking hedgehog. Mick. Hello, Mick. Is this Mick Jagger? Mick here from England. Hi, Questers. What a great show. Did anyone notice how good the soil was where Jack and Gary was digging? Yeah, they have been cleaning it out. Billy's crew there, the construction crew, have been cleaning the lots out. So that helps them out a lot, Judy.
It does, doesn't it? Makes it much easier for them to get around in there. Good old Billy.
And there's where it's plotted. A.5N-13.5 as it is towards the garden shaft. Looking for that 5-foot tall wooden tunnel. Just to give you a visual. Please hit that like button if you can. Please subscribe if you can. Yep, Scott, they've been really clearing them out. And there's Terry. We're all focused on the garden shaft because that's what the show was called, Bubbling Over. How many holes they've drawn. I know, I remember reading somewhere, Tammy, they had 45 shafts in the money pit. Over 3,000 test holes, if not more. And I don't know how many caissons. Got to be at least 12, 15 caissons, right?
I would think so, yes. Wow.
And we come up with nothing. Well, they did this shaft and they carbon dated to the early 18th century.
Mm.
So if they carbon dated that wood that early, it had to be either a pumping station or entrance to other searcher tunnels, right, guys?
Right, I would think so. Daniel says it's like Swiss cheese, John. And I was just thinking it's a good thing it's not Swiss cheese or it would be sunk by now.
You would think that would sink in after a while. Something would sink in, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But think of this. If the shaft was carbon dated early 18th century, the only reason why they're doing a refurb of this shaft is because of a higher gold content. You guys agree with me on that so far?
Yes, I do agree that's why they're doing that.
You see that number? 18th century. They didn't say the 16th century. They didn't say the 15th century. And they're finding older wood out away from the garden shaft. Do you agree with me that so far?
Yes, Daniel says 1704.
Yep.
And he has a question mark after that.
Yep, they found wood and they dated it 1704, yeah. But not anywhere near the garden shaft. Yep, it's the only work they've been doing. A little bit of work on the pathway on the side of the swamp that we saw. But we don't know what they could have done. I mean, the weather was still good up to last week here. So they could have been still doing things up there, Judy. So I have no idea.
Right. I know from what I've read, Billy's people have been on the island doing some things, but I think the fellowship is finished.
Right. 1704 stone. That was it, the stone that she had. That's right. What did I say? Wood? My God, Johnny, you're losing it. We have gold in the water. But you see how close this drill is, Judy, to that garden shaft?
Yes. Yes. Very close.
Any kind of pressure close to that, you would have bubbles coming up because you're real close to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would say the drill's no more than 2 feet away from that corner of the garden shaft. Well, Terry, it's been a shaft there that's been shown many, many seasons ago. And then they just turned it into this women's memorial. And now it's the feature highlight because of a gold signature in the water that Dr. Spooner did. I thought it was in C1 that was a higher level, but I'm probably wrong again. So they're into the garden shaft as far as the concentration of gold. So, Judy, that's even getting me confused.
Right, exactly. Yes. It will be interesting when we see someone go down just to see what they do come across.
Well, if they go down 77 feet, they're going to see like an elevator shaft. What are you going to see when you go down in there?
Right, that's true. That's true.
The only
Unless
thing,
they find an off chamber or
Yeah.
another tunnel.
I think that's the main reason, is if they don't find an offshoot tunnel, which they're showing that they are, because that's what they're drilling. You know what I mean? They're finding these voids all the way up and they're showing a track going to the garden shaft.
Right.
But then if the garden shaft is dated to the early 1800s, whoever dug the shaft and got to a side tunnel, and if the treasure was on a side tunnel off this garden shaft, the treasure then is gone.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean, guys out there? I'm trying to put the dates together. So if they did this and it's 1800s early, it's a searcher tunnel. Maybe it's just a flood tunnel, the offset tunnel that they're drilling. Could be just a flood tunnel. Who knows? You know what I mean, Judy?
Yeah, John Daniel says it's early 1700s. It was the 18th century, so it's the early 1700s.
Huh?
Is the date for the garden shaft.
The shaft that has been carbon dated to the early 18th century.
Right.
So the 18th century means the early 1700s?
Yes.
I'm confused again.
Yeah, it's always one behind. Yes, sir, Daniel says.
Okay, you got it, Professor. You're the man to straighten me out. Because I would say, well,
Yeah.
if it's 1700s, we'll say the early 17th century. So the early 17th century, they're talking about the 16th century.
Right, exactly. But they said 18th century, so that means it's the early 1700s.
We got it.
You got it, John.
That's how burnt out I am this week. Oh, my God.
Well, you've been busy. You have a lot on your plate.
Then they wanted to identify this pin, this brooch, this hat pin, this lapel pin, this cufflink. And that's what we got through some information yesterday. Daniel, very easy to confuse this guy.
I always have to think about it, John. Every time they say a century, I have to think about what that actually means.
Yes, David, that's the age of the wood. The shaft's wood dated.
Tammy says, and John, it's only Wednesday.
I know. And right now we're in the 21st century, right?
Right.
Or the 20th century. So there they go on lot 8. I still say there's things to find on the west side, in the swamp and on the west side.
Yes, Daniel said he believed that what you just showed is a hat pin, and he posted it in a picture in our group page. And it's very interesting, guys, so take a look.
Yep. Guys, you got to join the Facebook Quest page when Daniel breaks all this stuff down. I mean, I print it out, but I'm not going to read everything that he does. That's for you guys to read. It's in the community part of the YouTube members that have joined. But that's privately. That's not for the public to see. That's for the people on YouTube and our membership that's private in our group, Judy.
Right, exactly. So there's lots there, guys, for us always. Tammy says, I'm telling y'all, they are finding some good items on lot 8. I agree, Tammy.
Yep, it's the same area where they found this gem. It could be a Templar breastplate gem. You never know, Judy. You never know.
Exactly. And I found the one last night. What was interesting was the glass in it is from Roman times. So I thought that was interesting.
Yep. But now that we're seeing all this stuff coming in now after watching this program for 10 seasons, everything comes in my mind from like season 1 to season 9, you know?
Right, yes.
You know, we're not newbies here. We're like, oh my God. You know, before we get questions, what's a LiDAR? LiDAR? You don't get them questions anymore because everybody knows what it is. What's seismic testing? Everybody knows, you know?
Right, exactly. Yeah, we've learned a lot, have we not?
Oh, God, we have. Now we'll learn a lot about mining. So if you want to ever dig in your backyard and make a shaft in a mining, I guess once we go through Duma's Mining's structural, you always can remanufacture a pit in your backyard.
Yes, there you go.
They also found this bunk hook designed to lifting heavy objects or whatever a hook can do. Yep, it was glass, right, Daniel? Then this was interesting. This possible coin, this possible piece of metal. But for some reason, if you look at this, guys, and you look to the right upper corner, do you see a red cross, or am I completely losing my brains this week?
Well, there is some red lines there, John, that certainly could be a cross.
You guys see it or no?
Don't know if that's what it is, but it looks like it could be.
Dee Dee. So who knows? Some red lines, one cross, one vertical, two horizontal. A barter piece, who would be using that? The Portuguese, the English, the French, with the Mi'kmaq.
Oh, and Mi'kmaq too. Okay, I never even knew about barter pieces till this came up. So I found that extremely interesting.
Yep. Something there. I gave a shout out to the diggers over here. Got to put them in once in a while, Judy.
Right, exactly. They're good guys. They keep at it, don't they?
Yep. And the hook says no markings. Well, we got to question that because I think I saw red markings, but my brain is completely burnt this week, guys. Sorry. But maybe I want to see things so bad, Judy, I'm seeing things, you know?
But we all see it too. Some of us are saying we see it too. You're not alone. So if you're crazy, we all are.
That's why you put it out there. And this is where they drilled into the large void, I think a 10-foot void. And then my brain went right back to when they drilled near here and all that air came out, remember?
Right, I remember that. So there's something there for sure.
Well, there's the pirate. He's back. Thanks for coming back, pirate. Yep, Daniel. Anyone who built the works on Oak Island, it had to be Daniel. And even intertwining and having families with the Indians there and everything. Don't hear much about that. That's why I try to get the president of the Mi'kmaq to come on the show just to see her. She's the chief. Just to see her side of the story. But I tried. You know what I mean, guys?
Right. Cindy is asking, is that piece totally cleaned off? Cindy, I think they said they had more cleaning to do on it. So maybe it will become clearer.
Thank you, pirate. And this is, I got a picture when the air came out. And he's almost on the rocks of the Women's Memorial there, so that was pretty close.
Right, darn close.
But is this off tunnel just another flood tunnel? You know what I mean?
Right. Could be that too.
At 103 feet. But if we knew the elevation at Smith's Cove, and if I knew the elevation, well, we sort of know at 103 feet is this tunnel, all right?
Yes.
And if the elevation at Smith's Cove is higher than this tunnel, you know it's not a flood tunnel. Did you guys follow me on that?
Right, yes.
It's got to be lower than Smith's Cove. There's no pumping station underground for 500 feet, or it's 550 feet away, I guess, from Smith's Cove. So it's got to be all downhill from the finger drains to this spot. Water don't flow.
God.
Water don't flow uphill. You know what I mean?
Right. It does not.
So if it's a tunnel that is higher, it's an offset chamber, and it's a searcher tunnel. So we'll soon find out.
Yeah, I know Michael said on Dot to Dot that he thought it was a searcher tunnel. So we'll see. The fellowship doesn't talk like they think it is a searcher tunnel.
Right. Marty says, I think the offset chamber theory is the only thing. And again, why would you bury something 185 feet deep in blue clay? That's not a retrievable treasure. That's something to be put away, if it's even there.
Right. If it's, yeah, might not even still be there. Well, Daniel says the 1500s time period is consistently coming up. It is telling us something.
Yep, Daniel.
Okay, Daniel. I just find it late, Daniel.
Yep, it keeps on going farther back every episode we go, Judy.
Yes, it does.
Then there's these two copper pieces that Judy was saying in the synopsis. Looks like paper in between, looks like parchment in between, could be weeds in between. Who the heck knows what it is?
Yeah, really, I'm anxious for them to test it, for sure.
So we got to get this tested in the lab. Not that they got the lab right there on the island, Judy.
Yes, it helps a heck of a lot. Tammy says, I'm telling y'all, look under Fred Nolan's shed.
Mm-hmm.
She's been saying that for 2 years.
Yep. And of course, the story's long and involved a lot of people over a long period of time, which I agree.
Yes, it does, Daniel.
Then they found this crazy looking thing. Of course, we got to wait for analysis from the lab in the trailer. I think they were saying maybe part of a curved bell or something, or part of a cannon. Who the heck knows?
Right. Yep, till they find out exactly what metal it is and so forth, and we won't know much of anything.
Yes, Terry, the whole island was LiDAR. Most of the island was seismic testing. If you go back, that's how they found the anomaly, ship-shape anomaly in the swamp. I mean, we got so much data on that island, it'll make your head spin.
Daniel says, see that groove in it? Yes, Daniel, we see that. So what does it mean?
How does the professor see things on these things?
He does. He's right on it.
Decorative, he says. When they got things like that, it's a decorative piece.
Okay.
I'm still pretty much amazed that they're still finding pieces. Like I'm saying, if I bought an island and I had a metal detector, I would take one lot 1, scour the whole lot, 5 acres, piece by piece. Okay, you're done with that lot. Go to lot 2. I mean, they've been there over 10 years, Judy.
Right, John. Yeah. I know it's a lot of work, but they still are finding lots, aren't they?
Yep. And also, they got the 3D scanners that team from Germany were there for a week and got 100 hits on those 3D scanners. I can't wait to see that.
Great. No, that's going to be great. We have that to look forward to.
And the owner from Germany told me he'd be on the minute they show the program. So I can't wait for him to get on here and just tell us where they found it, how they found it, obviously after the show airs. And that'll be very interesting because even though Gary bought new machines that go even deeper, but I never see him with the new stuff. I always see him with the old one all the time. Does that make you guys scratch your head a little bit?
It does. Like, why wouldn't he use that? I don't know.
You know what I mean, Judy?
I agree. I often think about it and wonder why he doesn't use it.
He always uses the one that, they go one shovelful is about what, 12 inches? Two shovelfuls is about another 12 inches. 99% of the time, it's one shovelful. So if you look at Jack digging or Marty or whoever, one shovel blade is about 12 inches deep. And that's not very deep at all. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. So there could be stuff down further.
Correct.
Even.
Yeah, yeah. And here's they're showing us how the drone does the programmed crisscross of the island. Obviously, they do the whole island. I don't know, Judy, if the other LiDAR that I didn't look back to was at 3D. I'm pretty sure when Gordon Fader showed the LiDAR other images that it was 3D. Why even do it if it's not 3D? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I'm pretty sure it was, John.
It showed the highs and the lows and the mounds and everything else.
Right. Yeah, it was well done, so it's got to be 3D.
Yeah. I'm going to do sections at a time and then go for it. I guess next week they got a hot area to find. How many times we hear that? And there's Muyan's brother, Charlie.
There you go. Good name.
So Osprey Muyan, if you're in the show, there's your brother, Charlie, that you've been looking for. I hope you guys never run into each other, then we'll have problems.
Yeah, really.
Daniel says it's Nuan. We got one Muyan and one Nuan.
There you go. That's a good one. Daniel says Gary should do a hand soap commercial, and Cindy Monroe says ox shoe soap.
Yep. And Terry says, why don't they create a team of 6 men and women to go after the 100 hits? Don't forget, Terry, they're done. The filming's done, the editing's done, everything that they're going to drive us crazy for is done. So that's already been accomplished. When they show us, that's another story. You know what I mean, Terry? I already sort of want to know where C1 is because I sort of know where that is, Judy. I'm always looking for where it's at. So this is a good one.
It is. It's a really good one.
See how far they're off the head and shaft. You see the big one, the head and shaft right there, the big white square there?
Oh, yes, right.
They're nowhere near. If they think this other shaft leads to an offset chamber, the head and shaft is nowhere near anything.
No, it's not.
See what I'm saying, guys? The men's have rebuilt that too. And go down 180 feet. Why stop at 77 feet? Way the heck up there.
Right. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you see where the garden shaft is. Even though the money pit has been lost, Judy and members, look how far off they are from C1, the head and shaft. You would think they would know a little bit closer when they did the head and shaft in the chapel vault than what they're doing now. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it really seems spread out, doesn't it? It doesn't make sense, really.
I mean, would the chapel vault and the head and shaft, I mean, they didn't find anything either. Would they be this far off of the original money pit? That's what came in my mind on this.
It's so hard to tell.
You know what I'm saying, Judy?
Right, yes. And Daniel does point out that the tunnel goes toward the shaft, not directly to the shaft.
Right. I got you. And whatever's collapsed in between. You know what I mean?
Right. And there could be quite a bit
And
by
that's
the sound of things.
Yep, and that's why you're seeing all those boreholes around. You know, they're trying to follow it. You see all those white boreholes going all the way up to the top.
Right, yes.
But the question is, like I'll say it to you one more time, I think the older individuals sort of knew where the original money pit was, supposedly, or the vault, when they came up with a little bit of gold on the drill bit and the parchment, whatever. Look how far off they are from that area.
Yes. Quite a bit. Daniel said, I would be interested to see a wider shot, seeing what it is headed directly to. Good thought, Daniel.
The swamp.
The swamp? Hey,
Wouldn't that be?
John? That could be.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh, wouldn't it, though? Yes.
You know where it's
That would
headed,
excite-
Daniel? It's headed to the eye of the swamp. Son of a bee, there it is! There it is!
Yeah, Luann says, could this indicate the debris field is larger than they thought? And that's very possible.
And I'm going to ask Michael from Dot to Dot, Daniel, to give us a Dunfield perimeter on where he dug out here. Obviously, this yellow line where the shaft is hasn't been dug out by Dunfield. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah. Right. That would be a good idea, John.
To put on top of a map like this there. I would love to get Steve to show me a 3D map, but obviously he can't show me anything like that because he knows I know what I'm talking about.
Right. You were saying about it leading to the eye of the swamp, and Daniel says the original money pit.
So.
And Linda says uplands to the plug.
Yep. It was a deep harbor for something, to offload something,
Yep.
Or it was just a trading post, or it was just a pirate island to do things illegally. There was no pine tar in the kills, so there was no pine tar. Oh, my lordy 40, do I need answers in season 10? There's the bubbles for the show.
Well, you certainly can see them. Well, there was something going on there.
Yep. 108 feet deep. And this is when the coin expert was looking at the barter piece. Exactly 4 grams. How does this relate to being a barter piece? I mean, it could have been 5 grams, it could have been 3 grams, it could have been 8 grams.
I think he said usually a barter piece runs around the 4 gram.
And then I had one member or somebody on YouTube to say, this piece is a petrified Israel book.
What? Really?
Yeah, an Israel petrified small code book. I'm going, okay. So I get all kinds of answers and things, and I like a lot of different things to answer too. But
Right, yeah.
until they put it in their 3D scanner and take a look at it, who knows what it could be, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, that's certainly an interesting thought.
Max, what's the yellow line dash not more to the left based on the solar image? What are we going here? Why is the yellow dash line not more to the left based on the solar image? The yellow base line is from the drill information that Steve projected. If I got that right. Right, Judy?
Right. Yes, John, you got it.
Yep. That's a projection from Steve, the surveyor there, from all the drill holes that they're doing that you see on TV now, where all of a sudden they find a 5-foot void and they just keep on going. They hit a pole, they hit a side, they hit a beam, and that's how they did it. Okay, Max?
Our Daniel's really on tonight, John. He says, is Don Ho there? And I couldn't understand what he was talking about. And then he says it's Tiny Bubbles.
Mm.
Didn't he sing that song? I think so.
Yep, and they said this piece has got to be 500 years old at least.
Right.
And I was amazed to see this. This is the 10 by 10 wood grip shaft. I haven't seen this in years. That's all we saw was the shaft that was completely with dirt, completely with a ladder out of it. So it was pretty weird seeing this shot of the garden shaft before they made it the memorial.
Yes, that's right. And it looks so different right now from what the mining company have done.
Yeah. Yep. And this is just giving you an idea of the design of which we called the yellow hatch, on the dimensions and how they get in and out of it. And there's what we saw towards the end of the winter. Which we see now, guys. For personnel to go in and out, for tourists to go in and out. Whatever they're making this thing to be.
Well, they did make it interesting looking, I will say.
Yep.
I'm anxious to see somebody go down there now.
Yep. Get the video cameras down in there. Next Tuesday, episode 4 on December 6th is called Wharf and Pieces. So just think about what that means. Wharf and Pieces. Next week's show, December 6th. On Tuesday, I'll be here pre-show. And post-show next Tuesday will be on Discord. Thanks for everybody that goes on Discord. I post anything on there, what I'm cooking, how the weather is. We have a great time on there.
We do.
If you guys...
Don loves to drive us crazy with his cooking.
Yep, and then if it... only for private people on my Facebook channel. So it's not the whole world. I have to send you and put a link on. It's only invite. So let me know if you want to join a Discord channel. We have a blast on there. So next week will be pre-show at 7 o'clock Tuesday. And then the post-show at 10:15 on Discord. So we'll all talk to each other. I don't have to type. I don't have to be in the studio. So we have a great time on there.
It's good to hear everybody's voices, isn't it?
Yep. And then I don't know how they play it during the Christmas week, but we'll see how it goes. A lot of people, don't get on Facebook. A lot of people don't go on groups after the holiday season starts, after the first week of December. So that's normal.
Right. And I think Christmas week, John, if I remember, the show doesn't come on.
Right. Even though it shows a scheduling, I'm pretty sure it doesn't come on. Even though it says it's going to be on, I think they skip a week and then skip after January 1st, and they give us some backstories. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Daniel, you're very good. Pretty soon you're going to have to come on live with me. You know, if you're doing them that good, you're going to have to come on live and say what you're saying, not printing it out. So you might get yourself in trouble now.
I agree, John, 100%. I want Daniel on.
Once he goes live, he'll never go back.
Right.
Then you'll have to
I
change.
love doing it, Daniel. You'd have a ball.
Then you'll have to change your name and your address and everything for the crazies. But we have fun. We have fun. That's all that matters. It's a great group of people
You're
here,
right.
and we'll just keep it going. We'll just keep it going. All right, Judy.
Daniel says he's just waiting on a couple of things, John. So I think he's got something up his sleeve.
Yep, he's the master. He's the professor. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
All right, Judy, if you want to say your goodbyes, Judy will be with me again next Wednesday for her synopsis of the Tuesday show. And you never know what can come on between now and then. You know, that's why I want you to hit your notifications on YouTube, get that bell ringing, because I come on all the time. Anything and information I have, I put on, sometimes not in the studio, Judy, but I put it on as my voiceover over something that comes quick. So I don't have to turn on all this computer stuff and 5 monitors and lights and cameras in action. I get it right out, Judy.
Right, and it works great, John. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nope. And if it's real important and you see my face on, that means we got something unbelievable, you know?
Right on. So we'll look for that.
Yep. And if you got a baseball cap, you want to take a picture and show it, let me know. Put it on the group. And who knows, we might give away maybe a puzzle during Christmas. I'm not sure yet. They haven't been selling at all. I thought it was a good idea, but hardly any. I think I just sold like 4 puzzles so far, and that's about it. So if anybody can help out on that, I know the postage is high, but the postage is high for anything now. There's no more free shipping, not unless you have a mass quantity, and there's no mass quantity here. You know what I mean?
Right on, John, and it has got expensive.
All right, Judy, if you want to say your goodbyes, and then I'll say my goodbyes, and we'll get the heck out of here.
All righty. Hey, everybody, I just want to say thank you so much for your encouragement. Writing those synopses is something I enjoy doing, but getting back your comments on them means even more to me. So have a good week. Enjoy the show next Tuesday night, and I will see you on Wednesday night. And in the meantime, stay safe, please, everybody. Stay safe. You too, John, and good night.
Okay, thank you, Judy. We'll be talking to you in a little while. Bye-bye.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. What do I always say? Always go forward. You may get a setback in life like everybody does, but you got to believe in yourself. That's number one. You believe in your dreams no matter how old you are, and the dreams I'm getting, oh my lordy 40. Holy Muyan! For tomorrow is a never given. With this crazy world we all live in, the world needs a ton of prayers and a ton of help right now. So you be kind, you keep smiling during this holiday season. For some, it's tough, but keep your chin up. You stay strong. You stay positive, guys. You stay safe. Thank you for joining me and Judy tonight. We'll see you next Tuesday pre-show at 7 p.m. and post-show at 10:15. Or if anything happens in between, check the notification tab. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you. Take care. And bye-bye.